Hello and welcome to the 2022 version of MidCats India Risk Review. My name is Atreya Bhatt and I am a geopolitical risk analyst with MidCats Predictive Risk Intelligence team. Today I will be briefly examining the various geopolitical risks that will be posed to India in the coming year, starting with India-China relations. In the year 2021, relations between the two countries were largely adversarial and hostile, despite multiple attempts at dispute resolution. There were several attempts at initiating dialogue at various levels. However, both countries continue to remain firm on their positions and evaluations of the situation, specifically pertaining to the Galwan Valley clashes of June 2020, as well as the border disputes along the line of actual control. In 2022, China's economic footprint across Central and South Asia will likely increase. The Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership will also take effect in June 2022, which will likely increase China's influence in Asia Pacific as well. Lastly, the land border law of the Chinese government will take effect on 1st of January 2022, which is likely to make any possible breakthroughs in negotiations pertaining to the border dispute more difficult to achieve. The second risk factor is cross-border terrorism. Cross-border terrorism, insurgency or militancy continues to remain high on the list of external threats posed to India, especially towards the end of 2021 when there was an evident spike in the number of terrorist attacks committed in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, targeting both civilians and security forces. In September 2021, central agencies sounded a high alert across coastal Karnataka after there were reports of the usage of banned satellite phones in the region, possibly linked to terrorist activities. In October 2021, the Delhi police busted a terror module in the city, arresting one suspected terrorist and seizing ammunition and incriminating evidence. Follow-through investigations also resulted in the arrests of several other terrorists and accomplices in Mumbai, possibly linked to a major terror plot. In October 2021, there was also the seizure of a major drug haul at Mundra port in Gujarat, where drugs worth rupees 25,000 crore were seized, possibly also linked to narco-terrorism. Therefore, terrorism will continue to remain high on the list of external threats that will be posed to India in the coming year. The third factor is India and Pakistan relations. In December 2020, there was a major conflagration between the two armies across the border. However, by February 2021, both the armies were able to reach a ceasefire, which has largely been maintained by both the armies in 2021, when there has been a major de-escalation in tensions from both armies. The Pakistani government has issued 3,000 visas to Sikh pilgrims and other pilgrims wishing to visit shrines on the other side of the border, whereas the Indian government has also opened up the Kartarpur corridor, hinting at a possible thaw in relations. However, towards the end of the year, the shooting of an Indian fisherman off the coast of Gujarat and other related incidents, as well as historical precedent, will possibly cause this issue to be looked at with pragmatism. The next factor is the Rohingya crisis. Following the military crackdown on Rohingyas in Myanmar in 2017, nearly 40 to 50,000 Rohingya refugees currently reside in India. The Ministry of Home Affairs has already flagged their presence in India as a possible internal security threat, whilst public sentiment about their presence in India continues to remain negative. The issue about deporting Rohingya refugees back to Myanmar is currently sub judice, and any potential ruling on this matter could result in protests and agitations that might become disruptive and violent. The next is Northeast insurgency. Insurgency in Northeast India primarily arises from demands of greater autonomy for the region, as well as the presence of migrants from other states and other countries in the region. Since 2015, there has been an evident decline in the number of violent incidents reported. However, in 2020 and 2021 as well, this could be attributed to successive COVID-19 lockdowns. It would not be practical to assume that this issue will not continue to remain a major threat in 2021, especially considering the attack on the regiment of Assam Rifles in Manipur in late 2021, resulting in the deaths of several personnel. Similarly, in December, there was a counter-insurgency operation in Nagaland that went wrong, resulting in the deaths of several Nagaland civilians. Therefore, there is another angle with which we can look at this issue, is that there exists some level of opposition to the presence of the army in these regions, which could also result in protests by the local population. The next issue is India and Bangladesh relations. Since Bangladesh's inception, bilateral relations between the two countries have largely remained cordial and friendly. However, in 2021, there were a few flashpoints that could become troublesome issues in 2022. Firstly, a spate of violence against Hindus during the Durga Puja festival in Bangladesh caused a few tensions between the two communities and the two countries. Secondly, the possible implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act in 2022 by the Indian government could cause some issues with relation to the migrant crisis. Therefore, this could possibly cause some protests and some tensions in bilateral relations in 2022. The next one is India and Afghanistan relations. Since the turn of the century, since 2000, India has sought to promote bilateral cooperation through economic partnerships, infrastructural investments, as well as cultural cooperation. India has invested in several electricity lines, highways, hospitals, schools, libraries, parliament buildings, etc. But since the rapid ascent of the Taliban in August of 2021, several questions will be posed to the Indian government in 2022. Firstly, the Indian government will have to play a precarious balancing act between positing a no-tolerance approach towards terrorism, whilst at the same time also safeguarding its interests in the region. Secondly, there will also be the threat of Pakistan increasing its influence in Afghanistan, which will be a concern for the Indian government. Especially with the US withdrawal from Afghanistan, several Afghan militants will likely turn their attention back to the issue in Jammu and Kashmir and will likely wage their asymmetrical warfare against the Indian government. The last issue is post-pandemic diplomacy in India. In January 2021, as COVID-19 cases began reducing in the country, India began a humanitarian initiative, diplomatic initiative called the Vaccine Maitri, where it was exporting vaccine doses to other countries in need. However, towards the end of March, as COVID-19 cases rose, India had to suspend the supply of vaccines abroad to focus on inoculating its public within the country. After the second wave in India subsided, India resumed the supply of COVID-19 vaccines abroad, and it will be interesting to see the quantum of goodwill gained by India as it hopes to become a leader in the Asia Pacific as well as the South Asian region. Lastly, it would be important also to consider the threat and the epidemiological trend of COVID-19 in India, especially with the emergence of the Omicron variant towards the end of the year. It will be interesting to also see how India completes its vaccination progress and deals with a possible third wave in the country, and with several states already implementing containment measures such as night curfews. It will be interesting to also see how businesses cope with various different regulatory measures. Thank you.